This is the 5-part plan. You know, scientists like to do it with mathematics and science. Religious people like to do it with religion and creationists and theists. Well, FLIGHTBOSS always does things his own way. So, I'm going to do it through music. Before we get into this, I want you guys to understand the analogy real fast. I'm not talking about the actual concepts and physical things of things. What I'm talking about is something everybody have inside them, but they just have to find it. So, when you think about these things I'm about to say, yes, they are real things, but inside you are real things too, and feelings, and thoughts, and emotions. So, at some point in life, you have to understand that everything is connected in some sort of way. So the best way to mash things together and make this little flight peanut butter and jelly sandwich go so well and smooth, I present to you my 5-part plan. This is the 5-part plan to the Pilotman salvation. Everything has a timeline in this universe. So me being a Pilotman, I always try to find what's behind time. So I orchestrated a guideline, a 5-step plan. 1. Coming from this point of view of man, you can't help but to look up and wonder, what the fuck is that giving off all this motherfucking light? Without common knowledge, mankind has to start pointing fingers somewhere, and it starts with the sun. 2. Understanding mankind has made us grow to learn such things we know now. So I guess we can take it a step further. See, the sun is just a star, and a star is just one of many in our constellation, which surrounds Earth and flows like an ocean with emotions in everybody. The constellation is a vortex. As we point, to the understanding in our place on Earth, the time in reference to. The constellation is this is how we can tell time and all that good stuff on Earth. But inside, this is what we base time on and everything. But inside is based, we still got a cling on morality and a lot of stuff else that's clinged on to it. You know what I'm saying? So everything is a vortex. It's circling around inside, emotionally, physically, and conceptually. Which leads us to 3. Mankind understand things such as bigger. I'm messing up my words. You're going to have to bear with me for a little bit. You feel me? I'm trying to put this and reword it in the best way that everybody can understand what the fuck I'm talking about here. 3. Mankind is an understanding that things are much bigger than our imagination. Because once we reach this point, we can see time on top of time on top of time on top of time on top of time. At this point in life, shit can get very confusing. You could be very confused about your place in this world. No, we're just small parts in something very big, in which our galaxy is one of many. Our galaxy alone has millions of stars, thousands of constellations, wrapped in one galaxy. And our galaxy is one out of trillions out there. Don't lose your soul and mind just yet. This will attach mind, body, and spirit back together. If you can't wrap your brain around this, this phase of life or this concept, you could be lost. This is where a lot of rappers is at right now. They're stuck in our galaxy because they see all the stars. They receive everything. They see the bigger picture. But that's as far as it goes. So a lot of times, if you could be very confused at this stage in your life, you can sell your soul at this point in time because you see all the bright lights. You see everything from a better angle. Your life might be a little better off. But that simple fact right there will allow you to fall for a lot of things you wouldn't fall for if you had certain principles back on Earth. Try to bear with me, people. Like the galaxy is time on top of time on top of time on top of time, like I said it is. Constellation is how we tell our time beneath this sun of our constellation on this Earth. So, we tell the time with our constellation. But once you pass that, it's a lot of stuff going on the same way it goes on here. But we can't comprehend the way that goes on, so we can't calculate it with our time. Which leads us to number 4. Once we really understand, as mankind, this point of view of life is very lonely. But this part of life is yours searching for someone or something. And it can be very hard and frustrating and long and never ending. But to the individual, it's up to the individual to figure out whatever you're looking for. It's up to you to figure out, is what you're looking for really out there or is it really inside? As long as you're out there long enough by yourself to understand that what you're looking for is not out there, but it's inside. And once you find it inside, you will exactly and automatically know what to do. But you can only get there and only find out what to do by going through this actual experience. For being self-stranded, looking for something, looking for it, or whatever you're looking for, you can only find it by the experience of being lost. Because you got a lot of rappers right now, a lot of entrepreneurs and actresses and actors that's caught up in the galaxy, but once they take that big old rise and then fall flat and they don't see no more stars, they drifted off in the universe, they're lost and lonely, they feel like they're by themselves. Even though it's 1,000 people around them, they still feel like they're by themselves. They're taking that mental drop. That's the experience they have to go through to really find themselves. Which brings us to number 5. Now, you know, before I carry on, I gotta throw in this little pun. You know, no pun intended. Well, it kind of is. Look, check this out. I know y'all kind of understood that I kind of got the whiff of that I'm flying, you know, by me being a Pilotman and all. It's kind of like I'm flying within this analogy because it's like I done came from the ground, the nigga done flew through the sun and flew through the constellation and then flew out there to the galaxy and flew out and got lost in the universe. Yeah, that's another story. Let's get back to the what we got going on right here. Okay. Number 5, plane of existence. This is all the answers, man. Like this is where it all come from. This is where you find your motives. This is going back in time. This is going into the future. This is ring around the rosy. This is circular. This is where everything points to. This is where everything's possible. This is understanding in a real way. You know what I'm saying? This is understanding. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm at a point in my life right now where things are still cloudy. You know, and I seem to can't even get past the sun. I mean, I don't know. Is it due to my human traits and trials and tribulations? But I'm just now figuring out my place on this earth under this sun. So this is my 5-step plan to the Pilotman salvation. 1, the sun. 2, the constellation. 3, the galaxy quest. 4, the universe flights. 5, this plane of existence. This plane of existence. Okay. First it was the sun mixtape. And that's all I'm past right now. But, you know, by the time I understand our plane of existence, I should have it all figured out. But until then, I'm stuck on number 2. This constellation. Flying fuck. The constellation.